Bro,
Get
what
on
the?
the ground. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you see. Get down.
Oh, you're about to get arrested. No, you can't
Get on the ground.
What the?
Get on the ground. All right.
Hey, sir, can you call the cops? Hey, call the police.
I am the police.
What are you doing?
Get the heck on the ground.
Yo, hey, stop. Hey, Nicholas, stop. George, stop.
I will
Stop.
shoot you.
Stop. Hey, no. Stop. Do not shoot. Why are you putting on?
Get on the ground.
Why are you doing what?
Get on the ground.
Okay. Bro, what are
Come
you
here.
doing?
Get on the ground.
Yo, help. Why, dude, what are you doing?
Hey.
Why are you pointing a gun at me? Dude, what are you doing? Hey, help! Mom! He's dragging him! Yo, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Now.
Dude, what the fuck is your problem? Mom! Ow! Mom! Stop! Yo!
Call the sheriff's office. Come on. Get on the ground.
What the fuck did we do?
This is from a poster. I am sharing this post again to inform everyone of an incident that took place on September 28th of 2025 in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. An intoxicated and off-duty police officer approached my nephew and his friends while they were taking a walk through the neighborhood. Initially, the officer did not have on his gear, so when he questioned the children about what they were up to, they refused to answer. The children in the video attempted to walk away, which then led to the officer going home to put on his gear, following and harassing them and ultimately leading to this incident. This is absolutely unacceptable and needs to be handled accordingly by Beaufort County Police Department. Growing up in Hilton Head has always been an amazing upbringing, and it's very disappointing that this can happen in our community. These children fortunately made it home to their parents safely, but this incident could have gone completely different. Today, young children had their innocence taken away from them. Please share to that this incident does not get swept under the rug. Continue to protect and keep our youth safe.
It happened inside the Squires Gate neighborhood. Residents say multiple teenagers and an off-duty deputy were involved. The incident ended when the deputy drew his firearm. He has now been suspended. It happened inside the Squires Gate neighborhood. It happened on Sunday evening around 6:47 p.m. Sheriff's deputies responded to calls of a disturbance inside the Squires Gate community, where it was discovered that an off-duty deputy was involved. It happened in the neighborhood he lives in. Social media video shows the deputy, off-duty, walking towards and pointing a firearm at multiple teenagers and calling for them to get on the ground. At one point, a physical altercation occurs, where one of the teens physically pushes the deputy off of another teen. The deputy then points his firearm at the teen and says he will shoot him. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office has suspended the deputy without pay. He was relieved of all credentials, badge, Sheriff's Office issued weapons, and equipment. SLED has been asked to investigate for possible criminal violations. WJCL 22 News is working to find out the details of what led up to this incident. This is an ongoing investigation. WJCL 22 has reached out to the families involved, but for legal reasons, they cannot comment. Reporting on Hilton Head Island, Sabrina Lee, WJCL 22 News.
So I just want to say, before I make my comment, I'm not racist at all. I got white people, in my family, mixed kids, right? But with that being said, it seems as though that when it deals with these, types, these, individuals, that there's a propensity for violence. And I'm not talking about the police officer. The police officer, in my eyes, I didn't see anything that he did wrong. He didn't appear to be belligerent. He didn't appear to be drunk directly to me. He looked at the situation as though that he was outnumbered and that, force potentially may have to be used in order to preserve one's life. Again, he is a lone officer directly out there protecting this neighborhood from these blatant thugs directly out here carrying book bags. It's what, 70, 75 degrees outside. You got on some khaki shorts and a t-shirt. you're in the suburbs. Why would you need a book bag? To me, that seems as though that they're up to no good. It seems as though that they're going to try to go through and loot and steal packages directly off of these suburban neighborhood porches, that they were just out there waiting early in the afternoon, maybe early late morning, and they were just waiting for the mail guy. They were waiting for an Amazon person to drop off a package meant for somebody's residence, but they're going to take that as if it was meant specifically for them. So from my point of view, that specifically is the reason why the cop told them to put their hands where he's able to see them, and to put the bag down, get directly down on the ground, because again, it's one officer trying to protect this very great, nice neighborhood. I don't see any trash directly on the ground, right? I don't see anything wrong. Everybody's grass is straight to the point, straight leveled, right? Is quiet. No music is blaring directly out there. But yet, for whatever reason, throughout all of this calm and all of this clarity, we have these thugs that don't know how to respect law enforcement. This is why, for me, in many of my videos, I say back the blue. Right? Because we can clearly see in this instance, this cop did everything right. And it is ridiculous that the chief and the others who are underneath the color of law would decide that they want to strip this man of his badge and of his weapon and of his title. That's ridiculous. We need more men like this. We need more men like this in these suburban communities, because there's a lot of thugs directly out there. There's a lot of violent individuals, right, that want to cause all types of problems. They want to do all types of things directly out there. Nobody can tell me why it is at this time of day that this gang of men were out there in these quiet suburban streets. Nobody can give me a valid reason. Why were they out there? What do you have to just sit around and just talk about? Shouldn't you be trying to start a job? Shouldn't you try to start an entrepreneurial gig? Shouldn't you be taking some type of courses, directly out there that are offered? You shouldn't be out there in the streets for no reason. The only reason that they would be out there is if they're up to no good. And again, thank God that this officer was out there in order to see what the situation was. Now, was the officer's methods, right, a little bit too much? Possibly, right? But again, as most officers say, that they have a few seconds. It's a life and death every single time. And for that officer, it was, because one of the kids had a backpack. It was a black backpack. Again, why couldn't he have had a clear backpack so that the officer or officers who were driving around trying to see what's going on, so that they can know what's directly on a person? They shouldn't have to ask you 99 times. And then on top of that, I just want to also note the violent tendency that is there, because in one instance, the officer was calmly telling people, right, with a little bit, of bass in his voice, to get directly down on the ground, right? Obey an oath officer. When somebody is giving you a command, you should follow that command. It doesn't matter what your feelings tell you. You follow that command because you follow the rule of law. You, as a normal person, are not that rule of law, right? As the officer was clearly saying, I am the law, right? Shout out to Judge Dredd. And he is. He was doing everything that the community asks of our officers to do every single day. And now, because he did just that, now he's being vilified. Now his name is being smeared all over, right? You have a lot of these political types wanting to bandwagon and jump directly on here. And, it's just a cash cow for them at the end of the day. They don't actually specifically care about your safety, right? Like I said, back the blue, guys, thin blue line. Because if we don't back them, who will? If we don't back them, who's going to protect us, right? The real problem is that these parents directly out there who decide that they want to move their kids into these neighborhoods, and they don't want to teach them right from wrong. They want to just decide to, let loose their criminals, directly out here, their gangs, of kids directly out here into these nice neighborhoods and think that, you know, people are just going to stand for it. And thank God for this officer. He was like, no, not in my neighborhood. I'm not going to stand for it. Maybe nobody else will speak up and say anything about it, but I grew up here. I live here. I have children growing up here. I work here. I'm not going to stand for it. Like I said, shout out to that officer for doing the Lord's work. I wish other folks directly out there, no matter what their political leaning ideologies may be, could actually see that this is one of the good guys. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.